All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I felt like that this was an episode I should have recorded a long time ago because when I see a person of color that's a content creator, when they simply get harassed just over their race, like that's the crazy thing. They don't do nothing to nobody. They might crack a joke. They just exist. Like that's the thing. All they're just doing is existing. But you have people on the internet that has some issue with them existing. Why is that? And that's the thing. You know what's so funny is that I remember when I got into it with Minnesota Boy, and he was this racist black YouTuber I got into it with back in 2015. But I remember asking that question, who like upset you? Who caused you to act like this? Like what's the reason? Now, sometime later he tried to say he was doing a social experiment, but I'm like, nah, man, that wasn't no social experiment. It's one of those things where you was going after people simply over the fact of whatever racist comment that you was getting. Because that's the thing. A person of color on the internet, they always gonna get a racist comment. Always. I don't know how many times I ain't got racist comments throughout my time as a content creator. There have been like, yeah, probably if I ask any of my friends that are people of color, they're content creators, if I ask them, have you ever gotten a racist comment before, I guarantee and I promise you, if they are big enough, they most likely would say yes. And it's one of those things where I'm like, man, it's just crazy to me because I'm like, we don't do nothing to nobody. Like, if I could just talk, the thing is this, you can, I guess, like, I put this, because I am going to be mainly talking about black content creators, but whatever you want to replace with black, I'm saying it exists. Whether it's Asian content creators, Hispanic content creators, Middle Eastern content creators, it don't matter. It just seems like that if you are a person of color on the internet, you are an easy target for some people. And it's crazy because I'm like, I ain't do nothing to nobody, but like, man, I can think of a lot of different things. And, besides me going over the just racist comments that I ain't got over the years, I do want this to be a motivational episode because that's one thing that I feel that it's like, it's not even a stepping stool. It's like half of the internet. There are people of color, there are content creators where I am just talking on like the comments that I done got, the positive comments, people talking about I've helped them with their depression. Like that, I think I've gotten that comment about a couple of times throughout my content creating career. And I have to say, that's like one of the most moving comments that I can possibly get. Like, I still remember the first time when I got that. I think it was because of the reaction videos I was doing. But the person had commented and they was all like, yeah, your videos have helped me with my depression. Now I don't know where this person is at in life right now. I hope life is treating them well. But that comment, that's one of those comments where I'm like, I hold that near and dear to my heart, because I'm like, man, I didn't realize that me being me had that much power, so like, that's why I'm like, man, people get on us because simply over the color of our skin, but I'm like, what about my skin bothers you? What about my skin puts you in a position where it's like, oh, I can't be on the internet no more. Oh, I gotta leave this racist comment. Why are you even on my channel? That's the thing where it's like, you put yourself in a position where you get yourself upset. You get yourself all riled up for what? I ain't did nothing to you. And that's the thing. If you want to have an experience with black people where it's all like, oh, this is how I'm always going to view a black person now, I'm like, okay, my thing is this, I can't change your experience, but don't come to my channel trying to put me a part of that experience. I'm having my own experiences in life. And the crazy thing about it is that the times where I done got racist comments, I don't take my anger out on white people. White people ain't did nothing to me, or any other race that then left racist comments underneath my comment sections. You guys ain't did nothing to me. Talking on like the whole race, people that I've never met. So if you hear this podcast episode, there's nothing to say about you. And I don't mean that on no disrespectful way. No, you ain't did nothing to me. So my question is, I guess, is if a white person leaves a racist comment underneath my video, and then there's a white person standing next to me, what does that white person that's standing next to me, how are they a part of the problem? How are they a part of the, like what I'm dealing with on the internet? They a random person. And it's funny because I remember when Minnesota Boy, when he was going through his whole thing about, oh, I gotta hate all white people and all that other stuff. There was this one video that he did, because I always would call him out on that. I'm like, okay, if you strongly believe in the racism that you're spewing out on the internet, go up to a white person and tell them how you feel. Tell them all the things that you be saying in the videos. Tell them that. He does this video where he was trying to make a white person feel bad about slavery. That man looked like he was probably in his like 20s, late 20s at most, maybe. I don't know. But it was one of those things where I'm like, last I checked, okay, because if this was back in like 2015, 2016, if I do my math correctly, carry the one at the zero, that man wasn't around during slavery. So what I was trying to figure out when watching that video, it's like, you're trying to make somebody feel bad about some stuff that they wasn't even there for. So switching it back, to I guess like the times that I didn't experience racism, you're trying to make me a part of some stuff that I wasn't even there for. If you and the funny thing is, those that are being like Chud the Builder, for an example, right? He was being racist for no reason. Black people ain't did nothing to him, but he wanted to do this whole, like, I guess, tour of going around harassing black people, doing any and everything that he possibly can to upset them. And it's like, for what? What did those people do to you? They ain't did nothing to you besides exist. That's the thing that always trips me out, though. It's like, how's it a problem if we exist? We were put in this planet for a reason. You might not see the reason, but we see the reason. We're supposed to change. We're supposed to do something productive with our lives. And yeah, there might be a few bad apples, but there's a few bad apples in all races. Chud the Builder being one of them in the white people race. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I know people are going to probably try to argue with me all like, oh, Chud the Builder, he's this, he's that. Okay, my thing is this, you trying to defend Chud the Builder, you trying to make it seem like that, oh, he's the greatest thing that happened to us since whatever. Why is it that there are millions of black people enjoying their life outside of, jail bars, going to college, getting multiple degrees, building a business, being a part of a career, and like elevating in that career, elevating the career that they're being, the business that they're being a part of. You guys, where there's black people, and it's like, then if we're just talking about black content creators, you have black content creators breaking records left and right. I'm saying, I think I Show Speed, he just recently posted how he has like 60 million subscribers, I think. Hold on for a second. Let me see real quick. I just want to make sure of it that, yeah, he just hit 60 million subscribers. Fam, he's gonna probably, because I don't think, what other, I'm trying to think, I can't think of no creators that let me just look it up real quick on Google, see what black YouTuber has the most subscribers. Oh, I Show Speed, the most subscribed black individual YouTuber is I Show Speed with over 50 million. So he's up there. And then it's like, and then they just even have like Corey Kenshin. It's like, when you think of like black creators, when you think of just all the black content creators, where it's like RDC World One, Corey Kenshin, I Show Speed, KSI, his brother Deji, I'm trying to think of some other creators. There's so many different black creators where it's like, they've inspired people and they ain't have to bring nobody down in the process. So that's why I'm like, when I look at those creators and then I look at somebody like Chud the Builder and their depiction of black people, what version of black people do you think I'm gonna go with? Me being a content creator, what path do you think I'm gonna go down? Me being this person that gives Chud the Builder exactly what he wants and it's this angry reaction, or me being in the same position as the black creators that I just listed off and inspiring other black people to also be creators themselves. Like, that's the thing that's so beautiful about that side of the internet. When you see these guys becoming memes, when you see these guys becoming global sensations. I mean, because I think back on when I was a kid, it felt like it was such a reach to become a celebrity. Like, when you think about that as a kid, it's like, wow, like that seems like it's impossible. Like, if somebody would have told me that, like, or like brought up like, oh yeah, this person has 100,000 followers on social media and stuff. Kid me, I'm like, wow, that's 100,000 people subscribed to that person. Now, put me in the mix, right? And I'm just saying, I'm like, fam, when I sit down and I think of all of the different things that I've achieved as a content creator, I can't help it but be proud. Like I'm saying, like I've reached over how hold on for a second. Let me bring up my social blade real quick. Cause there's like over 200 million views. It's over 224 million views. That's one of those things where I'm like, wow. Like it's still just seeing that number and seeing that I did that, and then having over 100,000 subscribers. I did that. I have a plaque to showcase that I did that. I'm saying like it's one of those things where it's like if you are a black small content creator, you can do it. You can achieve great things. You could go far and beyond. Do not let nobody tell you anything otherwise. Because, yeah, that's the thing. There are going to be some people out there, they're going to want to bring you down. They are going to want to be like, oh, you're black. You can't achieve that. I know I can. Because it's been happening since probably the beginning of the YouTube content creating times. You've seen so many different content creators, like to see where when I was in high school and seeing content creators like KSI and his brother and other black content creators, I'm like, Cash Nasty. I'm trying to think of, I'm Dante. Like just that whole wave of when reaction videos was making a name for itself, seeing all the different black creators that came out of that, and I'm like, and then just seeing them now, and I'm like, I'm Dante being probably out of that time frame, because I remember there was a lot of different creators that were blowing up, black creators that were blowing up during that time frame when reaction videos was blowing up. And to see Dante, like, he's still killing it after all of these years. You can't deny black excellence when it's happening right then and there in front of our face. So that's why I'm like, throughout the years of me just going back to talking on my career, throughout the years of me being called the N-word, being called a monkey, I'm trying to think, somebody saying, I can't remember exactly how the comment went, but they said that I either deserve a noose or I deserve to be hanged, one of the two. And it was crazy because I remember I told that to a book writer. She was asking me, and I like, fam, that's even another thing. That's like, I have to say that is probably one of the greatest accomplishments in my life. I am featured in a book. I am featured in a published book. You can get this book off of Amazon. It is done by this woman named Caroline Baker. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can find that book name. An Influencer's World, a behind the scene look at social media influencers and creators. Fam, you cannot tell me, okay, that's not an accomplishment. That's an accomplishment. To be featured in a book, that is an accomplishment. And and that's one of those things where I'm like, I remember when that book came out and I read my part and I was like, wow, like I did that. I was featured on ESPN. Like they featured a joke that I cracked about Russell Wilson, saying that it was an exercise that he did. They looked like that it was off of that one movie, Heavyweights, when Ben Stiller was doing like that slide exercise and stuff. Having it where ESPN featured my joke, being featured on other YouTube channels and stuff. I'm saying like having it where it's like people are looking up to me. The thing is this, right? And I'm like, I know people are like, oh, you sounding like you getting a little emotional. A part of me feels like I am. Because when I sit down and I think of all of the different great things that I have done, I'm a part of black excellence. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that story. I'm a part of that legacy. I might not be the biggest, black content creator of all time, but at the same time, I've done something. Like I've held my own. And that's the thing where I'm like, people can say whatever they want to say about me, but at the end of the day, I've achieved a lot when it comes to content creating. So that's why I'm like, when people, they want to bring up my race, they want to, try to make me feel bad for, I'm like, fam, that's one thing that you're never going to convince me of, is that being black is wrong. Being black, that's one thing that's like, I accepted it on the day that I was born, that I was going to be black. And it's one of those things where it's like, at some point in time, I guess you don't really pay attention to it until it's like you're surrounded by people that are paying attention to it. And it's messed up, and then you find yourself, you realize that it's like, oh, I'm a part of the wrong crowd, So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, but no, I'm never going to feel bad about being black. There ain't nobody going to ever convince me it's like, oh, being black is wrong. It's like, oh, I don't care about whatever you have to say about being black. I'm being black 24/7, okay? And it feels good. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, that people can say whatever they want to say about black people, but at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, we still winning in life. We doing better than Chud the Builder. I'll say that much. So, but anyways, yeah, with that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.